Hi and welcome to the tutorial for Touchsoft's iPhone app. First thing we want to do is go into the settings section and make sure our project is set up correctly. So go into automation and you'll see all the standard settings you would expect to find for a CNI type application. We've got our network address and our port number. We've also got a number of other settings down below. We won't worry about the WISA compatible one at the moment because we're just connecting to a straight CNI, but we will turn editing on and we're going to make sure that the app is set to online mode. Okay, so let's start the project. You'll notice as it starts up, you see very quickly scanning CBus please wait. Even on a large project, that will only appear for a few seconds and we'll get all the current status of the lights in your project. Now, if we look at the rest of the project, we'll see it follows a pretty straightforward main menu, sub-menu, device type arrangement. There's a number of different devices and a number of different things we can do to the menus, which we'll go through step by step. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is edit the menus. Okay, so we simply click on the edit button in the top right. We can see our two items, sprinklers and lighting there. If we decide that we don't like the order of those, we just click on the rearrange icon on the right and drag them up to change the arrangement. We might decide we want to add an item, so we press the plus in the top left and we're going to add a section called blinds in. These sections could of course be anything you like. There is no limit on the number of sections or the order they are in. Okay, so we've got sprinklers, blinds and lighting. We don't really want sprinklers, so we're going to delete that. And we realise we've made a mistake with blinds. We actually want to rename that. So we press on the word blinds and we go back in and we can type in another name, which in this instance will be blinds and curtains. And once we've typed that in and press save, we go back out and our changes have been made. Okay, so let's go into the lighting section now. You can see we've got some sub-menus there, and the functionality for the sub-menu section is identical to that of the main menu. So we can delete a room that we don't want, and we can rearrange rooms that we feel are perhaps not in the correct order. Once again, as with the main menu, there are no limits to the number of items we can have in here. So let's click done and we'll have a look at the devices section. Okay, so let's select the kitchen section. We go and we can see our devices into the kitchen. We'll choose edit in the top right again, and you'll begin to see a familiar pattern emerging of how we manipulate the devices, so we can delete them the same way we did the other sections. The main difference here is we have different functionings, from a pulse to a straight power to a light down the bottom there that is dimmable. Okay, so let's continue to edit this section. We'll rearrange the lounge section up and we're going to add a new device in. Here we get presented with a more complex screen. We're going to type a name for our device. We'll call this one kitchen wall. Now you notice we don't have the group address for that device, but no worries. All we do is press the kitchen wall button on the actual CBus switch on the wall, press our capture button and it's in there. Hit done. We've now got our kitchen wall turning on and off and functioning. We're just going to go in and re-edit that kitchen wall because it's actually dimmable. We change the type to a dimmer instead of an on and off, and it's done. We've got a dimming switch down the bottom there. Let's just move it up the top and we can dim that light up and down. If we dim it all the way down, it will of course turn off. If we dim it back up, it will switch back on again. Okay, the other thing we're going to edit in this screen is our pulse button down the bottom, which at the moment is called box. We're going to use that to operate an electronic latch on our front gate. So we're going to click the edit button in the top right and select box down the bottom there and rename it to something more appropriate. In this instance it's a gate, but it might be a garage door with an open stop close, for example. So we get out, we press the pulse button, it will turn on for 1.5 seconds and turn itself back off again. This of course could also be applied to a scene in a pack controller or a C-Touch or anything else that requires a momentary contact closure. And that's all there is to it. Using the methods in this video, in particular the capture button to get those group addresses, you can easily set up a house in 5 or 10 minutes. The last thing we need to do is just exit the program, go back into the settings section, and we're just going to turn editing off so that all our hard-earned work will stay untouched. Go back into the program and there it's ready to use for the client with all their devices and rooms in place.